Buddhism, as it was introduced to Tibet, contains many deities. Tara is one of them, tied to the Tantric tradition. Tibetans who, in their childhood, start to evolve within this divine world seldom question its nature. They are naturally drawn toward these familiar faces and accomplish rituals and meditative practices associated with them. Westerners, however, find themselves in the presence of a new universe, which seemingly has no equivalent in their culture. This leads them to ask many questions. Before trying to define who Tara is, it may be useful to first understand what the deities are, both on the ultimate level of their essence and on the relative level of their manifestation. The play of ultimate and relative. Deities, as we see them, are not essentially superior individuals living in faraway worlds that sometimes come to the rescue of human beings, even if their manifestations may give that impression. In truth, if we realize the true nature of our minds, the deities reveal themselves as being not different from our own minds. As long as we do not realize it and live in the duality, the deities enter the play of duality, and a relationship is established between these two poles of manifestation, I and the deity. Let us suppose that in a dream we meet a deity. We would be sure of the individual existence of that deity. Also, we would be sure of the reality of the I, who, upon seeing the deity, would feel joy and devotion. However, in truth, the person perceiving the deity and the deity would both be manifestations from the same inexpressible essence, the mind itself. In the same way, for those who live on a relative level, the deities appear on a relative level without being separated from their essence, which is none other than the essence of the mind. To understand the true nature of deities, we must always remind ourselves of the two levels of reality. Ultimate truth, beyond notions of subject and object, I and other, beyond concepts and words. Truth is always present and always true, but it is not experienced by ordinary beings. Relative truth, false in essence but true for the people who experience it. A truth founded on the fallacious perception of subject and object, of an I and another. If, from our point of view, there is an I and the deity, from the point of view of the deity, there is neither an I nor another, neither subject nor object. This does not imply the absence of manifestation, but that this manifestation is without duality. It lacks a center and circumference. The true nature of the mind is the nature of the mind as it is, free from any psychological elaboration, and free from all mistakes and illusion, subject and object. Why is the nature of the mind called divine? This is because it is without suffering, pure of any disturbances, and because it is superior bliss. This happiness is different from the relative happiness that we experience in the ordinary world. It is not a transitory happiness depending on objects or depending on relationships of an I and another, but a happiness inherent to the mind itself, beyond all duality. This happiness cannot be altered by any fear or suffering. This genuine and immutable happiness is itself the deity, a means and a reality. Deities in a relative sense, as we have sketched above, are the deities as they now appear to us in various forms and colors, adorned with diverse attributes and ornaments. Although these deities are not located on an ultimate level, from the point of view of our mode of perception, they are not separated from the ultimate. In effect, their nature is such that practicing with deities leads to the realization of the ultimate deity, that is, the mode of being of the mind. In this sense, they constitute a means. However, this does not mean that the deities are simply an artifice. In reality, they are what is called the body of enjoyment of awakening, Sambhogakaya. In other words, an extremely subtle level of manifestation. This body of enjoyment is not separate from the absolute body, Dharmakaya, the awakened mind beyond manifestation that does not differ from the ultimate deity. The body of enjoyment is an expression of the dynamics of the absolute body, an expression that is never separated from its origin. Deities are linked to the ultimate essence of the mind, not only as a means of accessing it, but by their very nature. From the point of view of the path leading to awakening, these deities appear as external to our mind, as an expression of the Buddhas to help us in our progress because of our dualistic thinking. From the point of view of fruition, that is, once we have fully realized the nature of the mind, deities are no longer seen as external, but as the manifestation of the absolute body, beyond duality, beyond any notion of I and another, the absolute body with which our mind has merged toward the body of enjoyment. Let us take Tara as an example. Now, when we practice Tara meditation, we must make a mental effort to imagine her as she is, green in color, hands making certain mudras, legs in a definite position, adorned with various attributes, and so on. In a certain way, Tara is then the creation of our psyche, and we remain, at least partially, prisoners of the idea that there is me on the one hand and Tara on the other. This mental creation is not useless. As a reflection of the body of enjoyment, this mental creation is linked with it and allows us to approach it. Once the ultimate realization is obtained, this same Tara is no longer the fruit of any mental effort. Without her form disappearing, she reveals herself as a spontaneous expression of the absolute body, a clarity of the mind in which there is no subject and no object. There is also a difference between the deity as we imagine it and as she exists in the reality of the awakened mind. It is also said that the body of enjoyment does not serve to benefit a Buddha, but it benefits others. From our point of view, it is true. However, from the point of view of a Buddha, there is no I and no other. This means that a Buddha does not think he or she must produce bodies of enjoyment or must help others. As we have seen, the body of enjoyment is a spontaneous expression of the absolute body. The activity that is exerted is spontaneous, lacking will and effort, lacking also the notion of a reality inherent to the manifestation, and the idea of an I who helps and another that is helped. That the deity may first appear as external, then reveal itself as inherent to the nature of the mind without idea of external or internal, may seem difficult to understand. The difficulty comes from a dualistic conceptual approach. For us, there is an I or another, external or internal, and if we cannot imagine that it can be otherwise, we cannot really understand what matters. Only the realization of the nature of mind will give us direct experience of this reality, the divine coming from the human. We have explained that, to benefit beings, fully awakened beings, such as the Buddhas, spontaneously assume, in a non-intentional way, various forms on the level of pure manifestation, normally inaccessible to ordinary human beings. They are called the body of enjoyment. These forms can be diversified: male, female, peaceful, wrathful, and in several aspects. These deities come directly from the compassionate activity of the Buddhas. If the deities have a feminine appearance, they are called goddesses. From a relative point of view, however, some deities are considered the result of a human ascending to the divine. There are men or women who have embarked on the Dharma path, rid themselves of all imperfections of the ordinary state, and have seen the qualities of the awakened state bloom within themselves. They have reached a divine state and become gods or goddesses. Tara may be seen as belonging, at least from the point of view of pedagogical truth, to the latter category. As we will see, she was first an ordinary being, then she passed through all of the levels of the path, and she finally attained the result and became a goddess. Absolute Tara. What we have said about deities in general also applies to Tara. Tara's identity, as with that of other deities, may be envisioned from two different points of view, that of pedagogical truth and certain truth. Pedagogical truth complies with our ordinary mode of thinking, and certain truth goes beyond that. This double identity of Tara is not a contradiction. One does not negate the other. From an absolute point of view, because of her nature itself as an awakened deity, Tara could not be other than the nature of our own mind. let us clarify what this nature of the mind is. It is beyond any concept, beyond any mental elaboration, and beyond notions such as existence and non-existence, nothing and something, material and immaterial, and so on. Beyond concepts does not mean nothingness. The nature of mind is the domain of awareness itself, of the experience itself, of pure awareness. No intellect, no reasoning, no word can grasp it or express it. However, it is present and cannot be negated. This awareness, inherent in everyone beyond any mental elaborations, also is Tara in the ultimate domain. Other names are used to designate the ultimate Tara. She is notably called perfection of knowledge, prajnaparamita. The perfection of knowledge has no form. It is emptiness of the absolute body, dharmakaya. This emptiness, however, as we previously explained, has the capability to manifest itself purely as the body of enjoyment, sambhogakaya. It is on the level of the body of enjoyment that feminine deities such as Tara, Vajravarahi, and many others appear. All of them are in essence the perfection of knowledge, or the nature itself of our mind. It is also said that Tara is the mother of all Buddhas, which refers also to her essence. The nature of mind, perfection of knowledge, and emptiness are in fact equivalent terms. All past Buddhas have attained Buddhahood by realizing emptiness or realizing the nature of the mind. It is the same for present Buddhas, and it will be the same for future Buddhas. Thus, Tara, the Tara beyond time, space, and all concepts, is the mother of all Buddhas, from woman to deity. Even if it seems disconcerting, the existence of Tara on an ultimate level, as we have described it, does not hinder or contradict her existence on a relative level, also called the level of pedagogical truth. According to stories of this pedagogical truth, known through the work of Tananatha, a 16th century Lama of great realization and scholarship, Tara was a woman before becoming a deity. Her story began incalculable ages ago in a world called multicolored light, where the drum sound Buddha dwelled. One of the king's daughters at this time, called Wisdom Moon, possessed great faith and devotion to this Buddha. For many years, she made immense offerings to this Buddha and his entourage of monks. One day, she decided to take the bodhisattva vow in the presence of the Buddha drum sound, that is, to promise to attain awakening to benefit beings in infinite ways. The monks rejoiced greatly at her decision, and considering that she would accumulate great merit by this activity, advised her to pray in order to obtain in a future life the body of a man. This would allow her to benefit beings and the Dharma better than in a female existence. Wisdom Moon, distressed by their narrowness of mind, answered them from the point of view of the ultimate nature of all things. Here, no man, no woman, no I, no individual, no categories. Man or woman are only denominations created by confusion of perverse minds in this world. She added that there were many who followed the path in a man's body, few in a woman's body. As for myself, she said, as long as samsara is not emptied, I will benefit beings appearing in a female body. Such was her promise. Her practice then allowed her to realize ultimate truth. Having become a goddess, she has placed millions of beings on the path of awakening each day. Dwelling for some time in a particular state of concentration called concentration that frees beings from samsara, she was known as Savioress, or Tara in Sanskrit. It is said that she liberated an infinite number of beings in the morning and an infinite number in the afternoon. In another cosmic era, the Kalpa of perfect victory, when Buddha Amoghasiddhi lived, Tara entered another state of concentration to protect beings from danger, fears, and demons. This state is called the concentration that completely vanquishes demons. Again, she benefited many beings, providing help as soon as they called upon her. Because of the swiftness of her activity, she was known as swift and courageous. Later, during the Kalpa without beginning, there lived a monk called Stainless, who received the empowerment of compassion of all the Buddha's mind. He became the deity Avalokiteshvara, Chenrezig. The 5 victors, the Buddhas who reign over the 5 families of awakening, gave him a special empowerment. This caused Tara to arise from his heart, coming through this mode of manifestation to accomplish the Buddha's wishes and work at benefiting beings during that kalpa. In some versions, Tara appears from Avalokiteshvara's teardrop. For this reason, Tara also has the name of Daughter of the World Sovereign, that is, Daughter of Avalokiteshvara. Tara, the swift and courageous daughter of the world's sovereign, has been benefiting beings during many kalpas by manifesting in various ways and accomplishing various activities through particular states of concentration. Such is Tara's story in the domain of manifestation.